In today's video, we're going the vegan way. That's right, spaghetti and meatballs vegan style. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Seasoning. I'm your host, Farnum, and today we're doing it, Simba. We're finally there. A vegan dish for you guys. We're gonna do spaghetti and meatballs vegan style. It's gonna be fire. We're gonna use some spaghetti squash, a homemade sauce. We're even gonna try Beyond Beef. I've never had it. I figure why not try it? Let's get it. Hey, before we jump into the recipe, scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below. I'm always showing love back to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hey, before we jump into this bomb spaghetti and meatballs, you gotta check the B-roll out. Let's go. All right, so the ingredients you're gonna need for your vegan spaghetti and meatballs are some vegan beef, vegan cheese. Listen, I can't do it. I smelled it. I wasn't in it. I'm gonna use parm. Use your vegan cheese though. A whole carrot, Italian parsley. We're getting our spaghetti from a spaghetti squash. Garlic, a white onion, bay leaves, oregano, onion powder, red chili flake, smoked paprika, garlic powder, chia seeds, tomato paste, San Marzano whole peeled tomatoes. Please use San Marzano. It's fire. Italian breadcrumbs and a good olive oil. And I forgot basil. All right, so I have absolutely never cooked with Beyond Beef before, but hey, I'm gonna try it. You can get pre-prepped meatballs, but I figured we make them from scratch because they didn't have any in my grocery store. So we're gonna start with a pack of our Beyond Beef. All right, now we gotta sauce this up, spice this up, get it tasting good. But before we do that, I usually use egg for binder when it comes to meatballs. Obviously, we can't use eggs today, so I'm gonna use some chia seeds. Now, you can ground these up in a mortar and pestle. I have a little spice grinder, so I'm gonna blend them up real quick. So I blended up my chia seeds in here, so we've got almost like a powder, and this is gonna act as a binder, so I'll just throw a little bit in. And then I'm just gonna get liberal with the spices. We got some smoked paprika. Make sure I put a good amount in there. Then we got onion powder. Good amount, probably about a tablespoon or so. Garlic powder. Again, we're gonna do about a tablespoon. Red chili flake, do about half a teaspoon. Then we're gonna go in with some Italian breadcrumbs. Again, I'm just gonna eyeball this, a couple tablespoons. Next, we're just gonna add some brightness by adding a little bit of basil in here. So we're just gonna fine chop about 6 pieces of basil up, scoop it up into the bowl. All right, I don't know if this is right or wrong. I'm gonna add a little shot of olive oil in here just so we get a little bit of fry action when it's in the oven. So here we go. I'm just gonna add literally about half a tablespoon, and now we're gonna mix. All right, now all we're gonna do is form these into golf ball sized meatballs. Let's go ahead and get it. All right, so here we go. We got our Beyond Beef meatballs. As you can see, we got little hints of basil and spices in there. I don't know how they're gonna taste, to be honest with you, or how they're gonna cook. We're gonna try it though. Like I said, shout out to all my vegans and vegetarians out there. For right now, we're gonna put these to the side and work on the rest of the prep. All right, now we're gonna prep the ingredients we need for our sauce, and we're gonna start with slicing half a white onion pole to pole. Cut off the top, cut off the bottom, do a slice, peel that shell off, cut it in half, and then we're gonna do thin slices pole to pole, scoop it up into the bowl. All right, I actually only used about a quarter of that white onion because I don't want it to be too onion heavy. We're not gonna have like an hour to reduce it, so the onions aren't gonna shrink up. Use a quarter of a white onion. Next, we're gonna take 1 carrot, and then just to add a little bit of natural sweetness, instead of putting sugar in the sauce, we'll use a carrot, and we'll fine shred it on our cheese grater. We're gonna scoop that up into the bowl. Next, we've got some indigestion. That's right, 5 cloves of garlic. You know the deal. We're slicing off the butt, smacking, peeling, then slicing, scooping up into the bowl. All right, next we're gonna handle our herbs and aromatics. So in a separate bowl, we're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of fresh basil. All we're gonna do is roll it up, a little slice down the middle, then we're gonna fine slice, fine chop, scoop it up into the bowl. Next, we're gonna do the same thing with some Italian parsley, 3 tablespoons as well. All we're gonna do is roll it up, a little slice down the middle, then we're gonna fine slice, fine chop, scoop it up into the bowl. All right, now we're gonna do about a teaspoon of some red chili flake, a teaspoon of some dried oregano, then we're gonna do 1 bay leaf, so literally just a dried bay leaf, just like that. They smell incredible. And then we're gonna go in with 20 cranks of black pepper and 2 to 3 pinches of salt. All right, before we jump into our spaghetti, I need you guys to preheat your oven to 350 right now. All right, so you're probably wondering, if you haven't had it before, where the hell is the spaghetti coming from? This guy right here. All we're gonna do is chop his top off, just like this. Now these can be a little tough, so if you gotta stand up to get some leverage, do that. Just be safe with your knife. We'll do the bottom. And then Look, we're rolling. So I like to just take a sliver off the side to give ourselves a nice flat controlled cut. So then we just go in and we're gonna go vertical. I'm just gonna take my knife. Gosh, these are really firm for real. All right, so I get it in and then I just kind of push down. And there it is. Now, you might be looking at this wondering, where the hell is the spaghetti at? I understand. All the guts in here, we gotta scoop them out just like this. Look, you just take a spoon, slide it in there, roll it around the edge. It's like a pumpkin, low key. And then the guts should just come right on out. Hello. All right, so once you got it cleaned out, try not to get rid of too much of this stuff because this is gonna be your spaghetti. Now I know what you're thinking, like where's it coming from? But if you look at the side wall right there, you see all those fibers that are growing longwise? Once this is nice and cooked, we just take a fork and we pull up and they're just gonna shred into long little spaghetti squash noodles. And they taste incredible. They got a good little snap to them. And all we have to do left is gut the other one. Then we're just gonna fill it up with a few tablespoons of olive oil, rub it around, hit it with a generous amount of salt and pepper. Now I know that looks like a lot of oil and a lot of salt, but you gotta remember there's gonna be a lot of noodle underneath all that. So there's a lot more spaghetti that's going to absorb that salt and that oil when we roast it. Don't sweat it. And then we're throwing it in the oven at 350. Spaghetti squash goes in for 45 minutes. Meatballs are gonna go in for 30 minutes or until 165. And then we gotta start our sauce right now, which will take about another 30 minutes. So let's hit the stove. All right, here we are over at the stove and this is what your setup is gonna look like. Over here, I've got my tomato sauces and the rest of the ingredients for my pasta. Next to that, I've got a deep sauce pan with a 1/4 cup of olive oil heating up so we can get to sauteing. All right, we got 32 minutes left in the oven before we hit our sauce. Let's put our meatballs in. All right, we got our pan on a medium heat. That oil is nice and hot. We're going in with our onions and our carrots first. Beautiful, and that's exactly what we're looking for, that nice searing sound. We're gonna go ahead and mix this all up. Wait for those carrots and onions to soften up. It should only take about a minute or so for these onions to start softening up, for those carrots to start really bringing that flavor out. All right, you guys see this pot right here? So this is my Staub cocotte. I love this thing, it's incredible. Yes, they're expensive, but I use it all the time. I just don't use it on camera because it's very deep and it's hard to see in. But listen, for Christmas, y'all, get yourself a cocotte. Fire. All right, those onions are nice and soft. Now I'm going in with my garlic, and remember, we do not want the garlic to what? To burn, because the whole thing will taste like So we're gonna mix these up, and then that garlic is gonna toast really quick, but we also want to get some flavor from our tomato paste. So we're gonna toast half this can, about 3 ounces, with that garlic, just so we can really let those flavors kind of come out and start to develop. Take that paste, mash that down, mix it up, try to get some flavor, release. All right, the reason why these tomatoes are special is because they grow in the ash of the Mount Vesuvius eruption in Italy. So there's volcanic ash in these tomatoes. They taste amazing. Hey, it's been about a minute, that garlic is ready. So we're gonna take our can, and it's probably gonna splatter a little bit, but we're just gonna put those in there, and then go ahead and put a little, you can hear it's barking right now. It's beefing. We're gonna let that figure itself out. I'll try to get a little mix in right there, pull the garlic off the bottom. I'll come back though. That's roaring like a lion. In the meantime, we can take a little bit of water, mix that water in so we can get the rest of the tomatoes out. The oil's not gonna like this either. And now that it's calmed down a little bit, we're just gonna go in and we're just gonna start breaking up those whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes. Now it's okay if you want a little rustic. We don't have to like completely obliterate them. If we want little chunks of tomato, we can kind of leave as is right now. And then we're gonna turn this down to a low heat. Now look at me real quick. You got it down to a low heat, a nice little simmer, but there's one thing you can't forget, your herbs and aromatics. Now this is where a lot of that flavor is really gonna develop from. So we're just gonna take our herbs and our aromatics and we're just gonna sprinkle them in just like that. Make sure we get everything out, and we're gonna mix that in. And then we wanna keep this on a low simmer. All right, check this out real quick. We just put everything in here. You see how thick this is? This is gonna continue to reduce. Now, if you like your tomato sauce or your pasta sauce a little thinner, we can always add some more water in there. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over here, throw some water in there. Gonna add a little bit of water, mix that in, and then we'll just let this reduce. It's just gonna add a little bit more of a saucy texture, but this is gonna reduce. A lot of that water is gonna evaporate by the time our meatballs and our spaghetti squash is done. So we're just gonna mix this every couple of minutes until our spaghetti squash is done, and that's it. It's a waiting game. Ta-da! All right, our meatballs and our squash are basically done. We got about a minute left. I wanna taste this to see if it needs any salt or any other spices. So it has reduced, everything has kind of come together. A little more salt. Add a couple pinches. Go ahead and mix that in. All right, here we go. Meatballs. Well, they stay together. I mean, they look like meatballs to me. Maybe not like 100%, but that chia seed definitely helped them stay together. So we'll bring those over here. Let's make sure they're 165. All right, our spaghetti squash is out. Now the way that we know if it's done is if it's fork tender. So if I can just put my fork right through it, just like that, that means it's done. It is done. And I'm gonna show you guys how to shred this in the B-roll. All we're gonna do is take our fork. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. It's very hot right now. We're just gonna shred that up into a nice big pile. We'll hit it with that sauce, hit it with some meatballs, a little bit of parm on top, and we'll hit the taste test. Let's go. All right, here we are. It is taste test time. We have our 100% vegan spaghetti and meatballs. Listen, I know one thing, the sauce, fire, because I made it. That spaghetti squash noodles, fire, because I made it. I've never had a vegan meatball before, so we will try it. Hey, taste test, here we go. In 3, oh my gosh, I can't get a bite. It's very, very hot. 2, 1, bon appetit, baby. Round of applause for my That's fire. That sauce is amazing. The noodles, A1. Now the only thing we have to decide on is if we're rocking with these meatballs. I'll do one without a bunch of sauce on it. See, I just can't get behind that smell. It smells so crazy, but we'll try it. Here we go. You know what, I gotta be honest, it's not bad. I mean, I definitely prefer regular beef and pork meatballs, but this is not bad, especially with the sauce. It's good. You know, if you're vegan or you're trying to cut out that meat, that red meat, this could definitely work for you. This is a good option. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, on a star scale, 1 to 5, I think we can make I think the meatballs are a 3.5 to a 4. I'm not too well versed in vegan flavors and what's really gonna amp these up and make them taste like regular meat. So I'll give those a 3.5, but the spaghetti and the pasta sauce, that's a 5. That is fire. Robust, full of flavor, a little sweet, a little bit of heat in there from the red chili flakes, a lot of depth from the tomato paste, a little sugar from the carrot. It's fire. I'm telling you guys, please make this sauce, make it with whatever spaghetti you want. We could definitely do better on the vegan meatballs next time. I'll definitely try some different things out. If you made it this far, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a comment below. I'm always down there chatting with you guys, saying what's up. Appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the recommendation, suggestion, doesn't matter. My name's Farnum. This is More Seasoning, and we are out. Bow.